The image of Jesus Christ has been that of a bearded, fair-skinned man with long, wavy, light brown or blonde hair and, often, blue eyes. We know Jesus was about 30 years old when he began his ministry. But the Bible tells us virtually nothing about what he looked like, except that he didn't stand out in any particular way. Revelation chapter 1 offers a clue that Jesus' skin was a darker hue and his hair was woolly in texture. The hairs of his head, it says, were white as white wool, white as snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire, his feet were like burnished bronze, refined as in a furnace. Some of the earliest known artistic representations of Jesus date to the mid-3rd century AD. More than 2 centuries after his death. These are the paintings in the ancient catacombs of St. Damatta in Rome, first discovered some 400 years ago. Reflecting one of the most common images of Jesus at the time, the paintings depict Jesus as the Good Shepherd, a young, short-haired, beardless man with a lamb around his shoulders. Another rare early portrait of Jesus was discovered in 2018 on the walls of a ruined church in southern Israel. Painted in the 6th century AD, it is the earliest known image of Christ found in Israel, and portrays him with shorter, curly hair, a depiction that was common to the eastern region of the Byzantine Empire, especially in Egypt and the Syria-Palestine region, but disappeared from later Byzantine art. The long-haired, bearded image of Jesus that emerged beginning in the 4th century AD was influenced heavily by representations of Greek and Roman gods, particularly the all-powerful Greek god Zeus. The point of these images was never to show Jesus as a man, but to make theological points about who Jesus was as Christ, King, Judge, and Divine Son. Joan Taylor, professor of Christian origins and Second Temple Judaism at King's College London, wrote in the Irish Times. They have evolved over time to the standard Jesus we recognize. What about the Shroud of Turin? Of the many possible relics related to Jesus that have surfaced over the centuries, one of the most well-known is the Shroud of Turin, which surfaced in 1354. Believers argued that Jesus was wrapped in the piece of linen after he was crucified, and that the shroud bears the clear image of his face. But many experts have dismissed the shroud as a fake, and the Vatican itself refers to it as an icon rather than a relic. In 2001, the retired medical artist Richard Neve led a team of Israeli and British forensic anthropologists and computer programmers in creating a new image of Jesus, based on an Israeli skull dating to the 1st century AD. Computer modeling and their knowledge of what Jewish people looked like at the time. Though no one claims it's an exact reconstruction of what Jesus himself actually looked like, scholars consider this image, around 5 feet tall, with darker skin, dark eyes, and shorter, curlier hair, to be more accurate than many artistic depictions of the Son of God. In her 2018 book What Did Jesus Look Like?, Taylor used archaeological remains, historical texts and ancient Egyptian funerary art to conclude that, like most people in Judea and Egypt around the time, Jesus most likely had brown eyes, dark brown to black hair and olive brown skin. He may have stood about 5 foot to 5 inch, 166 centimeters, tall, the average man's height at the time. So we can say that Jesus did not have blue eyes and blonde hair. Thanks for watching and do subscribe. Click the link below to access the article by Sarah Pruitt in thehistory.com.